This is a new thing. Little weird. I've been building to this for probably about 16, 17 years. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Lloyd. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to talk to you for just a few minutes today about hope. Not my wife. My wife's name is Hope. But not talking about my wife, talking about hope. That thing that we all need, that spark of light in our heart and mind, that there's something worth working for. There's something worth still having an optimistic desire for, and that it actually can happen, or something else positive or good in your life. One of the worst things I've ever seen with my clients, and I've seen it many times, are the ones who come to me who've lost hope. And very often they never come out of that, or it's very, very difficult for them to come out of that. But you absolutely can. So I wanted to just share for a very few minutes why I believe no matter where you are in your life right now, three things are true. Number one, it's not your fault, and you may have to watch some other teachings to get that one. That's not part of where we're going today, but it's not your fault. The solution is not trying harder. And number three, unless you're on your deathbed right now, I believe you can still get to your best life from wherever you are. And I've seen that thousands of times from people who were hopeless and thought there's no way anymore that I can get to my best life or anywhere close to it. And then 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, they're beyond their wildest dreams. And that is one of the most beautiful things that I've had the honor of being a part of for a couple of decades plus now. And that's what I want for you today. All right, so let's take a look at what we're talking about. And I call this beyond imagination. And I'm a follower of Jesus. I believe in the Bible. I believe in God. Jesus is my Lord and Savior, all of that. I don't want to push that down your throat. If you don't believe that, it's absolutely fine, whatever you believe. And the people who've come to us over the years, we've never been able to tell any difference in results in people who believe what I believe as a Christian or follower of Jesus, and other people who believe different things, whether that's Buddhism or Hinduism or New Age or atheism, agnosticism, whatever. We've never seen any difference in results. In fact, the group that has gotten consistently the fastest, most dramatic results for 25 years is infants and animals. And it's impossible to placebo an infant or an animal. I believe that's why we have 26 double-blind studies all saying it works, and it's not placebo, because double-blind controls for placebo, all right? And they've never done a study finding it doesn't work. So to me, that's reason for incredible hope. But I grew up with this hope, and I believe it today, all right? John 8:31 from the Bible, the truth will make you free. By the way, some translations say the truth will set you free. That's a mistranslation. And you're thinking, well, that's picky. What's the difference? Well, set you free is a one-time event like turning a key that can happen in 5 seconds. Making you free is a process. And that could happen in 5 minutes, or it could happen in 5 months or 5 years. All right? But the thing that will make you free is not more money or a promotion or even for a health problem to go away. It's finding and committing to and acting on the truth. And I don't mean what your parents said or what your best friends say or what's popular in the world. I mean the truth, reality, okay? And then the second one from Proverbs 4, which is the name up here, guard your heart above everything else, for from it flows all the issues of life. And Ephesians 3 tells us that if our heart is full of the love of Jesus Christ, or if you're not a believer, just if your heart is full of divine love, okay, what is the result of that? Well, Ephesians 3 says it's a life beyond imagination. Wow. And I've thought about that my whole life. I remember hearing that as a little kid and thinking about that my whole life. So, and I believe the spiritual heart is not here, it's here in the brain. There's another passage in the Bible that talks about the visions of the head. Well, a vision is what the heart does. The language of the heart is pictures, all right? So I believe it's in the head, but it says guard that, whatever your spiritual heart is, above everything else, for every issue you can have in your life comes from there. I asked 3 scholars, I'm not a scholar, but I asked 3 scholars independently, okay, this passage from thousands of years ago, about 4,000 years ago, actually, I believe, and the question I asked the scholars is, okay, all the issues of life, would that include my wife's depression, clinical depression? Would that include my acid reflux? Would that include Dr. Ben Johnson's ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease? Would that include anxiety? Would that include relationship issues, financial job issues? What does that include? All 3 scholars came back to me independently and said, in the language and context that this was written in, it means any problem you could ever have in your life comes from here. And by reverse engineering, has to be healed there if it's going to be a source, permanent, long-term healing. All right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the only thing we've done for 25 years, and that's what all 26 of those double-blind studies are based on, is resolving issues of the heart from negative to either neutral or positive. And we discovered a process that does that consistently. That's what the studies were on. All right? So, I hope, whether you're a follower of Jesus like I am or not, this is still ancient wisdom. In fact, the Proverbs one was written by Solomon, who most people believe was the wisest human being, person, other than Jesus, who's ever lived. All right? And even by non-believers, the words of Solomon are revered as high-level wisdom about almost anything in life. And here's what he says about your cancer, your heart disease, your anxiety, depression. It comes from here and has to be fixed here. Well, what's the issue with that? Well, surgery can't touch this. Pharmaceutical medications can't touch this. Nutrition can't touch this, as far as we know. All right? What the intervention we're talking about today, it's the only thing it touches, in my opinion and belief. And I believe the studies show that. And here's the Ephesians passage. To him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine, according to his power, which is at work within us. And what is this based on? What's the power? It's the love of Christ in your heart by faith. It's love. It's love. All love, I believe, comes from God. It's love. So if you fill your heart up with love, you are going to be set free by the truth, because the truth always points the way to love, and love always points the way to truth. Falsehood and lies point the way to fear, and fear points the way to falsehood and lies. So if you fill your heart up with love, which is what we want to help you do, you are going to have the life beyond imagination. But let me clear up one little thing about that. I don't believe the life beyond imagination means the mansion on the hill or the Ferrari or being a celebrity or whatever. In fact, most of those things can make it worse, okay? People who get filthy rich, they're usually miserable more often than not. I love the quote by Alice Cooper. Give someone everything they want and all the money they could ever spend, they'll find a way to kill themselves. And there's a lot of truth in that, okay? So I believe the life beyond imagination is the internal spiritual life of love, joy, peace, knowing that I'm right with God, I'm right with myself, I'm right with other people that I love and care about, including my enemies. I'm doing my best to love my enemies and pray for them and not have anything against anyone as far as my part is concerned, okay? So I believe there is enormous reason for hope. Now, the other thing I want to be careful with here is I'm not saying my little intervention, my little healing intervention can give you the truth of God that gives you the life beyond imagination. No, my little intervention just cleans up the junk off the floor. That's all it does, all right? It's like a cool new screwdriver that does something different than the old screwdrivers we've been aware of. But it's still just a tool. But by cleaning up that heart junk, now, in most cases, you'll get to a place where you can choose love. You can choose joy. You can choose peace. You have identity, good identity and worth. You feel acceptance, not rejection. The good instead of the bad, all right? And that's what we want for you, and that's what we want to give to you. And if you click on the link below, you'll get the free intervention, the one all the double-blind studies were on, free today. You can be started in 20 minutes. So get on that track. Start using the intervention. Click on the link below. It'll take you about 10 minutes to learn how to do it, about 5 minutes to do it, and about probably 5 minutes to teach someone else once you know how to do it. And let the truth make you free and experience the life beyond imagination. Thank you so very much and have a wonderful, blessed day.